And welcome back in episode of Free Creators, episode 3. Last time we have the magical girl doing a fucking terrorist attack. Almost exactly, because she thought that her own world's rules applied to our world. No, bitch, it's not that type of show. Sometimes these type of stories have that, which, like, I think Survivor or King, no. Rival? No. No. Forgot what it is. But a certain anime has manga has it where something. Something. Yeah, the thing, yeah. Their world's rules does take an effect it's on their own actions, but not the actions with the others or to themselves and things like that. That becomes a bit more complicated. But apparently in this show, it's only the innate abilities that gets transferred over perfectly, while the less inert abilities, as in the abilities of the world or the rules of the world, gets to be different. So yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah, not so sure about what else to say. We've got more characters from a Persona-like character with that's being like a rival. We got a Mateo Go, we got a fantasy mecha anime, we got a classic RPG. Looks like there's gonna be a fat otaku joining us. We got a fucking decrepit old man in his mid-30s who's doesn't seem like he has settled down yet, just writing novels. I guess living a good life, fucking make a career out of writing. Sounds pretty alright. Just need to find someone. But yeah, apart from that, let's see what happens in 3, 2, 1, go. Was that the Kingdom? No, that's different. Yeah, things something about able to change their worlds by making the creators rewrite them. Yeah, I get the question about this. How the fuck happens? How does that happen? Do they just lose their memories of this world, their expedition here, or what? Because if they don't, on their pages of their stories, creator story would just be, they got this real world arc that's surprisingly similar to some terrorist attacks that has happened in these months of this real world. Looks like it. Doesn't mean we'll immediately trust you. Just means we won't stab you in the back immediately. But where? Something to me. Something to you. Something to me. This show has been quite slow, I would say. 3 episodes in, we only got, yeah, Festival was mostly dedicated just to one fight and just showing the spectacle of fantasy characters in the real world. Hmm. I wonder why that is actually. I feel like there's quite a lot of anime and things like that have this type of slow pacing. Is it because they are trying to stretch the story out because the moments they're adapting it, there isn't enough story, or what? What do you want she doesn't have insurance. Oh yeah, forgeries and things like that, I guess. I guess the main character. Yep. Hmm. Okay. With an old man. Hmm. That is true. Not quite. That would be boring. Okay. All right. There's gonna be a lot of yaoi of you and Show in their world. That's some very clean plates. Well, they're noble in our world, but they're gods in yours. Perspective. What? Nah. Well, they were immediately after attacked by a magical girl. Don't smoke it in here. Also, do you know he's of age? Don't smoke in a family restaurant. So you're the most popular characters. Mm. Hmm. I'm not fighting here. He just took your 6. Like all your 6. The other creator. I guess he can change her character personality and such thing. She can change her in visual way. Well, we can always try by just if we want to test the theory, try things like small things like change her hair color, outfit color, things like that. See how that changes in real time. Rebellious face. Okay. Because you're an illustrator. What, immediately go to fucking into world transport? Okay. But how would that work? Would that work until it's when it's published? Or what? I'm gonna get probably because it's not published. To be honest, I feel like at this point probably is the point it's published. Okay. So in what situation would you use that spell? Yeah, but not to the detail of real life. Hmm. What do you mean? You probably experienced it somewhere in battle. Probably have some reflexes that's swing the sword and optimal way without real much thinking about it. What? You're just spoiling her? You're spoiling her! So that means, but what if that's the case? Would that mean that whatever the author is doing right now isn't going to affect her, at least until the anime adapts it? So there's different iterations, different worlds, which makes sense, I guess, because anime adaptations and such things do change the story, or at least how it looks like, quite a lot, depending on who is doing it. But will this affect you, or like you seem interested? Even if he doesn't, there's probably internet. It will probably just download Krita or something like that. It's easy enough. Then again, it will probably fun artists probably they will be able to get used to it because it's. Well, they're Middle Ages. They're the Middle Ages type of setting. Did he never describe any smell? Is that why? Well, I guess yeah, I guess other than visuals, I guess in the anime world there won't be much smells because that we still haven't made smell-o-vision. Hmm. No, you tried to divert the goddamn conversation there. Oh, it's this world. I guess of the world he's creating. No, he printed it? Huh. Okay. Yep. Nothing. Boy, I'm gonna guess it's a publishing phase. Impression. So it is just publication. So I have to publish this on the internet or somewhere. And if it's official, then it might be affecting her. Well, yeah. Especially, well, comparatively to, you know, the rest. Yeah, it's small industry. Yeah, that made the thing is with him saying it's Celestia is from the anime, and then there's she doesn't know much anything else from the thing. Can you have? Is there a world for each episode? Is there a world for each thing? Because like when you go to a world like now bring in time travel also, because is each episode contains start end, or is that a somewhere in the timeline of that world? But if that's the case, branching timelines then becomes a problem, and things like that. Fucking Windows still not fucking fixed. Great. Sets. Again. Managed. Okay. Don't worry about others. Okay. Sure. Something are being banished. Is that just a scrapped fucking story or something? Yeah, I know. No, that's her, yeah. I guess no, I just never looked at her this ritual. It was gross. Why show this fucking eyes so sparkly? I guess we're just slowly unraveling what the rules of this world are. Unraveling the rules of the world. That's something. Yeah. No. Yeah, with them saying that's that, I guess, yeah, the publishing is probably the final step for them to actually affect the characters. But then the question is, which version? Like, and how much would it count? Like, let's just say the author just comments on Twitter or something like that, a new fact about the world. Definitely not thinking of specific author right now, but the author. Would that count? As, I guess it depends, I guess, how much impression is, but I guess it would count, but to what version? Let's just say an author retcons something like, this character never wore socks, or some socks or something like that. Would that affect the anime version, even though the author never really worked on the anime? They just, licensed it out, or the publisher licensed it out. The author just had like advisory role at best, or consulting role at best, where people gone to him for consultancy instead of them being actively involved in the creation of the anime or another adaptation of it. Would that affect all versions? Because things, a statement of they never wore socks would affect the future, present, and then also the past of the character. But then the question is, what happens if the anime or any, or the manga or an illustration in the past, official illustration of the past, show them with socks on? Would that, I guess that would mean in our world, we would call that a retcon. But how would a retcon work? Would that mean a new version of that character is created in a different world where the retcon does take effect? Or, and the original story just ends at some point, at the point where that retcon is made? Or does both worlds continue, but with that one retcon? But then, depending on the retcon, it could have drastic effects. Let's just say one of the recent retcons I remember, Peacemaker Season 2 retcon, of them replacing Justice League with the Justice Gang. That's a huge retcon. That means for Season 2, fucking Superman 2025 happens, but for Season 1, it will be Justice League and Batman, Man of Steel. That happened in their universe. And Suicide Squad, obviously, but yeah. It's just, what are the rules of that? I guess maybe it'll never be explored, because I feel like retconning would be... I think then again, retconning could be a very powerful weapon if you have the offer of the creation you're trying to fight. Let's just say the author just out of nowhere tweets, this character is super weak, things like that. Then, but I guess the impression, it will give people some impression, but would that be taken seriously though? Because even if the author intends it to be a serious retcon, if in the spur of the moment they won't be able to have time to, rewrite the whole story, publish that again, have people read it again, and then change the impression that way. But in a tweet or just or public post somewhere on the internet or through an official account, official thing, sure, it will get impressions, but I don't think anyone would take that seriously, even if the author meant it seriously. Like, no, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about the fucking author statement. No, I just remembered something. X was always a different fucking ethnicity, because it never was stated which one she was. X was a pure white skin, whatever. Yeah. That is the I feel like that not a problem, but a quite interesting thing to do. The thing is, like, again, the question, going back to this episode about the information, what happens if that illustrator, the official illustrator, published that illustration through an official account, an official thing? Would that affect Alicia immediately? Because if it would, her outfit would also immediately change, wouldn't it? Because she also redesigned that. She would get access to the new spell, but also her outfit would change and things like that if it actually gone true. But then again, which version? Just the manga or the manga, anime, or not light novel? Because it's the light novel's illustrator that we are interacting with right now, but it's the anime she came from. Like, would it take time until the anime changes for the next episode with the new retconned design, or comes to the story where the story part where she inherits that new outfit and things like that? Yeah. And the thing with the character description is, no, yeah, the thing with the character description is, I just have just one idea for trying that out. It's safe enough to try it out, but it also proves how powerful it is. It's like, get rid of the breasts, give them gigantic breasts, and just see how that affects. But I feel like the only way to do something like that is to maybe like change the official wiki of the show. Like, we see for Alicia that she has a whole website dedicated to at least the anime adaptation and updates on that. I'm sure there's like a character description somewhere on the website, but so if the author or the company behind that changes the description, let's just say changes the bust width to double the size and publishes that to the official public website, would that immediately change her, or would that only take place when enough people have seen it? And things like that. Also, if that's the case, how many people would actually like take that seriously? Because I'm sure if that happens, like, in the fucking like, some diehard fan will probably notice that and fucking be upset about it, and then just assume it's like a typo or some kind of bug in the website. Which quite a lot of people will probably be the same, since, you know, you don't just fucking double the goddamn proportions of some specific body part on the character and just think, oh yeah, that's normal. Yeah. Then also the question is, how much does fan art affect the characters? Like, is that a new world? Is that a parallel world? Is that the fictional world and things like that? Because, like, so many shows have very passionate fan bases that do shit that's not official, that's not canon. Man, I do not quite like those fan bases where they always keep it as try to get headcanon as canon. But yeah, that. Like, let's just say if the whole fan base, or most of the hardcore fan base, decides, yes, this character should be just fucking ripping into shipping culture, should be fucking this other character, even though they never really had much canon interaction that points to that way. Would that affect the character? Because that is the impression. I guess it won't be the thing is, it won't be the common impression. I guess it will be the hardcore impression. But how much would that affect? How does every single impression is worth the same, or is the hardcore impression more valuable than people who just have some idea of the character existing? If you go by impressions, like, how much of the Coco rule is it? I don't know. That's not even the Coco rule. Coco rule would be only, even though you know the character, it has to be somebody who already knew the character before they died. They have to pass it on to whatever. But yeah, How much would fan art affect them? How much would the fan impression of it be affecting? Like, let's just say, let's just say, I just gonna be a stupid ass example, but let's just say an author creates a character, a very popular character, in a show that's very wholesome, no panty shots at all, but the whole fan base, but the actual whole fan base, not just a hardcore fan base. Whenever they think of them, there's 95% of them, they just think they are wearing white panties. Would that make that canon for that character, that when they come to our world, that they will be wearing white panties always? Does that work like that? Now, if that does work like that, you can extrapolate more things like that. What is the threshold of how many people need to believe X headcanon is, or X fanfiction headcanon is actually canon, because there's no actual contradiction to it. Even though this never really canon, because it never states to be canon, never really. Yada yada yada. I'm looking way too much into this, aren't I? I'm getting way too complicated into this. Well. It's fun to ramble sometimes, I guess. But yeah, other than that, don't think I have much else to say. So I guess with that said, that will be it for the episode of Free Creator, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.
And here are the people who decided to sell out their souls. Welcome to hell.